Rick Sutcliffe, who calls the Cubs games, used to be with ESPN a long time and former pitcher, Cy Young winner. And Rick Sutcliffe joining us on the program. Sut, how are you this morning?
Well, Dan, I got to be honest. After the big golf tournament went over the weekend, my legal name has been changed to Rick Putcliffe.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. Who did you take down in the golf event here, Putcliffe?
Well, it was a couples event, and you've seen my swing. You've seen my game. Obviously, it's all about my partner, and my wife carried us, and the two songs that I picked for our wedding that carried her down the aisle were both by Elvis. The Hawaiian wedding song and Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Did you cry?
Well, I was worried she wasn't going to say I do when she heard the songs that I picked.
Did you cry when she walked down the aisle? Did you cry during the ceremony?
No, I cried. You know what? I was bawling like a baby when our daughter got married. And I know you can relate to that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think I was pretty hungover during the ceremony as I was yesterday when I wasn't able to join you guys.
Oh, that's why you didn't join us. Yeah, because I said to Fritzy, reach out to Sutcliffe, see if he wants to join us. I didn't know which days you were drinking and which days you weren't. So that's our mistake there.
Yeah, it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are no alcohol because we play the role of grandpa the first 3 days of the week.
All right, the 7-inning complete game but not no-hitter by Madison Bumgarner. Is this good for baseball that they're not going to recognize it? Should they recognize it as a no-hitter?
Yes. I think it was terrific for baseball last year with everything that was going on, just trying to get the games in, trying not to hurt people, particularly extending the starters and overusing the bullpen. And as long as they kept it the same this year, Dano, it has to be. And if they take that away from him, I mean, if they give him a no-hitter, who's that? You think Nolan Ryan's going to get mad? No. I mean, the only guy that's going to hurt is him and the fans that were there that had the opportunity to experience it. And Dan, you know how I feel. I think the record book is, in my opinion, kind of a joke anyway. The record for all-time home runs is 755. The single-season record is 61. There's a lot of things in there that shouldn't be there. I just don't think this no-hitter is one that should be taken away.
Yeah, I just wondered about that because it's one thing for us to say because we didn't play the game at that high of a level, but I don't know if Bumgarner cares. I mean, knowing him, he probably doesn't care, first of all, Rick.
He doesn't. We know that, yeah.
So when it comes to, hey, it's a no-hitter, you can't call it a complete game, but you can't call it a no-hitter. Like, is it a complete game? Well, what is a complete game? What's a 7-inning complete game? Well, then it's a 7-inning no-hitter. That's a complete game. Yeah. So I know we get caught up in semantics there, but, these new baseball rules, at least baseball is staying in the conversation. The NFL always stays in the conversation because of new rule changes. And I think with baseball, I don't know if it's progress, but it is dialogue. And I think that that's important for people to talk about baseball. It's your livelihood, but, you're competing. It's tough sledding with trying to compete with football, the NBA playoffs coming up, and, baseball sort of, hangs there in the on-deck circle.
You're exactly right, Dan. I mean, you're looking to add that excitement, and now you're saying by rule you're going to take it away. The funny part about it, as you were saying that, I was thinking, it barely qualifies for a quality start. I mean,
yeah.
you just got one inning more than what that is. And a couple of years ago, we were in L.A., Book Shambi and I, and we were blessed. Rachel Robinson threw out the first pitch. Sandy Koufax escorted her. And when they came in, Sandy, I had known since I was an 18-year-old kid back in Vero Beach. He was kind enough to come in and sit down with us. And Dan, I asked him, we were talking, Clayton Kershaw was on the mound and about the comparison and everything. But I asked him about a quality start with 6 innings and 3 earned runs or less. And he goes, Rick, I always thought a quality start was at the end of the game when I shook the catcher's hand.
Which he did
So,
quite a few times.
he certainly did, yeah. But to your point, that's exactly how a lot of things have changed, and I just think we all need to evolve with it. Dan, I go back to, I think it's been so long, the '06 World Series, the one between, it had to be '08, Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. And if you remember, the Phillies were about to win. It was hailing. It was cold. They needed to call the game, and they didn't want to because the Phillies had a one-run lead, and they were going to be crowned champions because the game had gone 5 innings. I'm doing the game with Gary Thorne on MLB International. We get word from Major League Baseball. They changed the rule during the game. They said that we're not going to let it in this way. We're going to pick it up from here and continue. So, these rules are constantly changing. And let Bum have his no-hitter. And to your point, he doesn't care anyway.
We're talking to Rick Sutcliffe, Cubs Marquee Sports Network analyst. It feels like the rivalry has shifted to the West Coast with Dodgers-Padres. That's the new Red Sox and Yankees. You got the Dodgers playing well. You got Shohei Ohtani with the Angels playing well. Mike Trout batting .426. Giants tied for first place with the Dodgers. Feels like baseball is alive and well on the West Coast.
Well, and as you know, Dan, I've been here in San Diego since spring training got shut down in the middle of March last year, getting on the first plane this weekend to fly back to Chicago to do some games from Wrigley Field, feeling the excitement here with the San Diego Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr., a guy you just can't take your eye off. People talk about Manny Machado helping Tatis. I think it's the other way around. I think that Machado knows Tatis is watching everything he does, and because of that, he's even taken his game to another level. It's exciting. It's just that I'm so glad more than anything. I did on ESPN Radio, I did the division series between the Cardinals and the Padres. It was here. They played it at Petco. The Padres came back to win Game 2 and Game 3. The excitement in the city was amazing. But if that ballpark could have been packed, the excitement that Tatis Jr. brings to a game and what's going on with this team, that's the exciting part. With all the good things going on right now, the game's just not the same without fans. And hopefully, slowly but surely, we're gonna get them all back.
Okay. Now, I know that there's old school and, in your era and when you pitched, if Tatis did what he did to Trevor Bauer and he did that to you, how would you have reacted?
I'll give you a story. 1983 or 4, Reggie Jackson takes me deep, and he does something like that. And I mean, I literally looked at him all the way around the diamond as he strolled. And as I came in, Bert Blyleven comes up and he goes, "What's wrong?" And I go, "I'm going to kill him." I'm going to kill him. I'm going to hit him right in the mouth. Anyway, he let me go an inning because Reggie wasn't coming up. And then Bert came to me in the dugout and he goes, "Let me tell you something. He's gotten me 4 or 5 times. He's hit over 500 home runs. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants." And, I'm going to tell you, and it's really your fault because you're the reason I feel like that ESPN hired me. You remember opening day, I'm sitting in the bleachers. Sandberg came back and you started Sports Center with 2 former Cubs returned to Wrigley. You show Sandberg getting a base hit. And you show me in the bullpen with a beer about this big, chugging it down. And because you said it, ESPN go, "Well, let's bring him in." Then you told the story about Grandpa's tie, which I will, for the rest of my life, trying to repay you for being able to mention that. But I just I forgot your question now.
But would you throw? You're not drinking right now, right?
I'm not. I got a little coffee cup.
Oh, okay.
Right
all right. Just want to make sure. If Tatis did that to you, you would probably pop him. But Bauer said, "Hey, look, I get it, man. I celebrate. Yeah. He celebrates. It feels like you need a whole younger generation to embrace this. Not worried about old school. Remember when Ken Griffey Jr. had his hat on backwards and people." The old
it was
school,
so cool.
They were like, turn your hat around,
I know,
right?
I know.
Like we've come a long way since that, but I just wonder if that kind of celebration can continue? Will pitchers allow that to happen?
Well, Dan, to your point, and to go back to me saying it was your fault, it all started with ESPN. And I had to adjust because of what SportsCenter was doing. When you would start SportsCenter, you would start off with somebody hitting a home run and we're hoping to see Tatis. And Major League Baseball has to be hoping for that, to bring the young kids, to get more. I've got my 8-year-old grandson playing baseball now. They're having a ball. We need more and more of that. But I really think all of those theatrics and everything that goes on with a home run now, SportsCenter started all of that. Yeah. And baseball needs the attention because we know what's going on with kids in basketball and football. We got to bring a lot more of that our way in any way that we can.
What would you do with Shohei Ohtani?
I think for him to be elite, it comes down to him being on the mound. I think that it's more important for him to be a number 1 or number 2 to the Angels than it is for him to hit in that lineup. This is a special thing. And I'll be honest with you, up until this first month of the season, I thought he was just okay as a hitter. I thought what made him elite was as a pitcher. It's not that way. This guy can fly around the bases. I mean, he's a super talent that I just think you have to take care of him as a pitcher first. And when you can use his bat in the lineup or pinch it with him or whatever, that's fine. But I just think it's special what he does out there on the mound. And that, more than anything, to me, is what the Angels need.
Yeah, I just wonder it's going to be sort of half in and half out. It's like Bo Jackson when Bo played baseball and football, and you wondered if he committed to one, would he have been a Hall of Famer? And I wonder that with Ohtani, if you just said, look, just concentrate on pitching and, or just concentrate on hitting. Yeah. I just wonder, try to do both if he's going to be able to do that and will reach his full potential.
I think he's got the perfect guy making those decisions in Joe Madden. Joe's such a great communicator. I know you've had him on the show. You learn something every single time you're around him. And I'm sure that conversation with Ohtani, it goes on daily. Where you at? How you feeling? Everything is penciled in other than every 5th day on what his schedule is going to be.
It's great to talk to you, Sut. Safe travels there and have fun. You got Cubs and the Dodgers coming up in May, right?
We do next week, yeah. Please come see us at Wrigley this year if you can.
Can you give me good seats?
You know what? Hey, and I can get you great seats. And, Gracie's going to be there. I'm working with him. I got a question for you.
Okay.
You know that Gracie hit, or that David Ross hit his last home run in Game 7 of the World Series, right?
Yeah.
All right. Without going to Todd or somebody on your computer, tell me who David Ross hit his first home run off of. They're in your ear right now. I know you didn't know.
No, nobody.
Don't help him. Don't help him.
Who gave up his first home run?
A left-hander for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Not Randy Johnson.
Okay. Madison Bumgarner.
Mark Grace.
So he came
David
in emergency pitcher.
David Ross hit his first home run
my God.
Off of Mark Grace. We were there doing the game. And just real quick, Dano, Gracie looked to me in the booth and he goes, "What do I do?" I called the pitches for the first 2 guys. I knew him. The third guy come up, David Ross, I'd never heard of him. I looked at Gracie and I go, "Curveball." And he voices to me on ESPN. He goes, "I don't have one."
Wait, so you're in the booth and Gracie's on the mound?
Booth. I'm in the booth. Hey, I can embellish, but this is 1,000% the truth here, buddy.
Oh.
I miss you, pal.
Hey, great to see you, Sut, and thanks for joining us.
Anytime.
That's Rick Sutcliffe. He does the Cubs games for Marquee Sports Network, and he's got next up will be Dodgers at the Cubs.